Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakorash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect that's out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom. All right, so there's a lot going on right now, Lord's will. I could bring it all out, and not make the video too long. Basically, there's three main things I want to cover. So the first one is there's a lot of violent protests going on in Nepal, right? Here's the title of this video. It says Nepal unrest, anti-government protests escalate in Nepal, at least 22 dead. You see, and this is 15 hours ago today, all right? And by the way, for YouTube, this is fair use, all right? Just for educational purposes, all right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and play part of the video. You see, they're torching police cars, setting buildings on fire. This is a real uprising against the government.
At least 22 people are dead and hundreds are injured after the violent protests in Nepal. The massive anti-corruption movement continued despite the previously imposed social media ban being lifted, with protesters saying that social media was never the core concern of the people. Now, the ensuing violence and the unrest prompted the resignation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli.
Yeah, so you see that right there? That's all we need to play on that. Now look at this. I got this headline. It says Nepal violence, right? So the same thing we were just watching here. It says ex-PM or the ex-Prime Minister Kanal's wife dies after protesters torch house. President urges calm dialogue. So you see, these protesters killed the Prime Minister's wife. You see, so it's gotten to the point where all hell is starting to break loose around the world. You're seeing little pockets of it, man. All right. It started with the ICE raids and the, now it's moving around the world to these different places, man. And of course, we still got talks about Trump going to Chicago. All right. And what are the YNs in Chicago saying to come on with it? You see? Or don't come here. They warning, right? So it's gonna be all out war if they do, man. All right, and let's see what else is going on. All right, this is in France. All right, this is 13 hours ago. So this is all recent news, man. See, they got protests over there, okay? And just today, Charlie Kirk, a right-wing politician who's an ally of Donald Trump, all right, he was shot dead at a rally. It says viral videos capture horrifying moment. All right, this is fair use.
Oh my God. Go, run. Oh.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
You guys okay? Okay, what do you see?
Hey, apparently there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks.
Hey, so now y'all know, all right, why we be saying there's so much going on, we can't even cover it all, man. But today, I'll just try to make this quick, and we'll cover a bunch of, quick topics of, well, it's really all the same topic, man. The scriptures said these things would happen, all right? Like we keep saying, Jacob's trouble is at the door. The MLTB mandation's right around the corner. All right, and so is the return of Yahweh Shai shortly thereafter, man. We are literally at the end, man. We are at the end, Yasharallah. Okay? You Israelites out there better repent. Okay? Those of you that haven't already, fear Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Who are the Israelites of the Bible? You so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native American Indians, and the rest of the Israelite foreigners who may not look like a typical so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. But your seed on your father's side goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? Some examples, a black man, so-called black man, and a white woman get together. The baby comes out looking pale white, so-called. It's an Israelite on the father's side. Okay, you got Blake Griffin's son, and many other examples. Okay, the basketball player, right? Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the scriptures, man. All right, this stuff that's going on is intensifying, like we have been saying. All right, so this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. All right, so it's telling you to measure the times diligently, man, according to what? Biblical prophecy. The scriptures tell us that these devils, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, would mandate a chip for buying and selling. We see the world going in that digital direction. We see all these different cryptos. We see how the dollar is collapsing. The economy is going to shit. People are bugging out. Okay? Earthquakes, famines worldwide, pestilences. You had that C-19 situation. Okay? And, like it says in this chapter, we're going to get into it. Uproars of the people. Okay? So we know we're nearing that time, man. All right? This is verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the Lord is visiting, man. The Lord visited Charlie Kirk today. You see? And I didn't know too much about this guy. All right? But we do know that the Lord sends spirits created for vengeance, man. Okay? And that's what that was. That's the Lord's judgment. Okay? But like it continues here, verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, I made a video on earthquakes just a couple days ago, I believe, either 2 or 3 or 4 days ago, and uproars of the people in the world. What are uproars? Here's the definition.
Uproar.
A loud and impassioned noise or disturbance. All right, yeah, there's a lot of noise, people screaming. All right, but here's more specific. It says a public expression of protest or outrage. Right? It caused an uproar in the press, right? A public expression of protest or outrage. That's all 3 of the videos I just showed you. You see? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. That's right. You got all these different books in the Old Testament that prophesy, okay? And you got Yahweh Shai prophesying. You got all the New Testament prophesying. You got the Apocrypha. You got all these different prophets in the scriptures speaking about the end and what's going to happen. All right, that's the mouthpiece of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the Lord is telling you these things are going to happen. And now you're seeing it. Okay, now you people want to fear the Lord, man. You see, you better do it while you have time, Yasharallah. Don't keep waiting. Don't keep waiting, man, because one day is going to come. It's going to be too late. All right, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. That's right, it's here, man. We see it. Okay? So with that being said, let's go to our next point, 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. What is sedition? Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch.
Sedition.
Okay? And that's all these TikTok videos, YouTube videos of people, talking about how fuck the government, this, that, and the third. We can't live anymore. You people should start a revolution. That's been happening. We've been seeing that. Okay? And now, if I'm not mistaken, when this dude Charlie Kirk got put to death, people, the first thing a lot of people did was go on TikTok and make fun of it. Just like when Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, when he was put to death by Luigi Mangione, what is the first thing people said? They were celebrating. People were smoking bowls and taking shots to his death. People don't give two shits about these people in high positions anymore, man. People are tired. People are literally tired and ready to rise up. The only thing that's stopping them is these people are too comfortable. You know, they got all these breads and circuses. People are watching streaming their favorite shows and, watching TikToks and short videos and watching their sports, their football season's coming up. All right, and eating what? Food, all types of bullshit foods. Hey, these bullshit foods, they taste good, even though you feel like shit after you eat them. But seems like that's enough to keep the people in check for now. But it's getting to the point where people about to break, man. And that's what you're seeing right now, man. Society collapsing. This system, as you can see, it doesn't work. And it's going to be translated soon. Just like all the other empires that rose and fell before this one, man. All right, same thing happened in the ancient Roman Empire. All right, and who did Nero, the emperor at the time, who did he blame for all these terrible things that were happening and for Rome, Rome's decline? They blamed the Jews, okay? And it's the same thing happening now. They're blaming all these different things. You can see all these they're making Jake the face of crime on the news. Y'all can see that one thing that's been going around. Different brothers have been posting it. A so-called black man killed a Ukrainian woman, a so-called white woman, on a train or on a bus or whatever. And now it's like becoming this great big deal, right? You see, they're blaming the decline of society on the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, just like they did before. There's nothing new under the sun, man. All right? But we know that, as the Bible says, this man is the devil. What does the word devil means? False accuser, man. All right? And you Israelites in this truth, we eventually going to be blamed for it too, man. Okay? But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is our judge, man. And he sees our faith. Lord's will, we be of the elect. We're going to be blameless on that day. And the whole world's going to know, man. Esau's going to get destroyed and judged by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? But back to the point here, like it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. You see? Invading one another. All right? So, people going to be breaking into houses. All right? They're going to be taking up arms. All this anti-government and lawlessness is growing more and more. Okay, it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, you can see this in all these videos we just saw, man. All right, they putting to death the wife of a prime minister. All right, they just put Charlie Kirk to death here in America at a rally at a college, man, in broad fucking daylight. All right, got all these different protests going on. They setting things on fire in Nepal. You see? All right, burning places, breaking down buildings and shit. All right, so people are banding together, breaking into houses. They're gonna eventually be breaking into houses, complexes, supermarkets. Okay, when shit gets really, really bad, man, which is very soon. It's already getting to that point, man. People were looting in Chicago. You see that? You see? So this stuff is happening on a low level, but it's gonna intensify to a very, very high level very soon, man. It's already you're already starting to see it going up and going up in real time. We documenting it, man. We putting up these videos every day. All right? You know, they're not going to give a shit what Trump says. They're not going to give a shit what these politicians are saying anymore, man. People are not listening. People are starting to lose it. Okay? Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right, so all this societal collapse and people rising up against the government and putting politicians and people in high places to death, what's that going to lead to is martial law. You already got Trump sending the military out there saying, you know, to crack down on illegal immigration and crime. Okay, which is what is he doing there? He's making Jake the face of terror and the face of crime. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, making you look like you're the ones who are destroying this place, man. All right, while simultaneously, all right, setting everything up so that they can come down with that really great wrath, man. Because that what's going to happen is you're going to have checkpoints. You ain't going to be able to just freely drive from one place to another. You're going to have these 15-minute cities, man. And eventually, in the midst of all that chaos, all right, when they're cracking down at a high level, they're going to mandate the MOTB. All right? So we are literally at the end, Yasharala. You're seeing all these things happen in real time. Okay? They bringing back the death penalty. You know, they just mentioned that about that so-called black man that killed the Ukrainian lady. You see? Because these devils are ready. They know their kingdom is fucking going down the toilet. And they're acting fast, man. You know, you saw that. I'm going to actually have to make another video about the UFO hearing with Congress. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. Okay, they tried to shoot down a chariot, but it didn't work. And the people were scared, man. All right, and a lot of people's first question was, why would you even try to shoot at something that has far more advanced technology than us? All right, but that's that pride, that Edomite pride, man. Esau doesn't care that the Lord came from the fourth dimension and could do things he can't do. Esau, this damn devil, still thinks he has a chance. You know, and like the Apostle Tahar said, the Lord might just be playing with Esau to let him build up his confidence. All right, to get Esau to fight him, man, because that's scriptural prophecy. They're going to get the whole world, these Edomites. They're going to get all the nations and lead the charge against who? Yahweh Shai, when he returns. All right, it says in 2 Ezra 13, they were sore afraid, yet durst fight. See? We could just get it real quick, and I'll close out with that, Lord's will. Yeah, that's verse 18. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, who? Yahweh Shai, right? Were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. You see? So yeah, man, hey, the scriptures don't miss. All right, everything that we've been saying is coming to pass. And call all Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai for that. All right? So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to finish by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakorash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom wa, abad babal. Shalom.